Hey everyone, welcome back to Current Movement. My name is Sarah and today we've got another Vinyasa yoga practice. We're going to be moving quite a bit in this one where we're focusing on twists and opening up through the hips. We'll also be strengthening the core and have opportunities to play with some arm balances, in particular our twisted crow, our Eka Pada Koundinyasana pose, as well as our Kakasana, our 8-angle pose if we have time. And although we will be moving at a bit more of a steady pace and perhaps entering some asanas that are challenging, it's important to remember that we only take these options if we feel ready for them. And I just wanted to read this excerpt from the book, The Heart of Yoga, and this is written by the son of Krishnamacharya, who is considered the founder of Vinyasa yoga. And in this passage, he kind of talks about accepting ourselves where we are in our asana journey. When we go into a posture or carry out a movement that feels tense, it is difficult to notice anything else besides that tension. In doing this, we are not really in the asana we are striving for. We are obviously not ready for this particular position. Rather, we should practice something easier. This simple idea is a foundation for our whole yoga practice. Practicing the postures progressively, we gradually achieve more steadiness, alertness, and overall comfort. If we want to make this principle of asana practice a reality, we have to accept ourselves just as we are. It is only possible to find the qualities that are essential to asana if we recognize our own starting point and learn to accept it. So yeah, just keep that in mind as we practice today. Don't force anything. Let it feel good for you, your body, your mind, your breath today. Okay, we're going to get started on our backs. So roll yourself down when you're ready. And then maybe you're in Savasana with your legs extended. If there's another position that feels good for you to rest in for a few cycles of breath, then you can go there too. I've got my knees bent. Let's bring a little tuck in of the chin to the chest. And connect with an easy breath. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And you might start to deepen the breath here, breathing a little bit deeper into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Finding the 3 parts of our yogic breath. And as you exhale through the nose, you might start to constrict the back of the throat for our Ujjayi pranayama, creating that wave-like sound. That's going to help us slow down, be more in control, and we aim to thread this into our asanas in our practice today. And a good sign of if we're, pushing ourselves a little bit too far is if we lose our breath. If we stop using the Ujjayi pranayama or our breaths become really shallow and we breathe quite a lot. We'll take about, 5-ish more deep breaths here, noticing if any tension is present within the body, in particular around the face. And allowing this to soften, bringing the whole weight of our body down to the ground. Let's go one more breath. Let's all have our knees bent here. Walk the feet underneath the hips, but we're not going to come into a bridge. We're actually just going to draw the right knee up into the chest and then a little bit wider. Now you can stay here just with the right hand on the shin. If you felt like a little bit more, you could come into half happy baby, maybe walking the right hand up to the ankle or maybe to the side of the foot. You're kind of pulling the right knee in the direction of the ground. Now, if you did feel like a little bit more, you could extend the left foot out, but this makes it a little bit more challenging. Again, just assessing where you are. We don't want to feel too tense here. And then, if it feels good, you could add some movement, maybe lengthening the leg out a little bit and then drawing it back in. Just starting to get into the space of the adductors a little bit more, the insides of the legs, around the groin. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, bend the right knee and then take it across to the left, twisting the spine. Right hand reaches out in line with the shoulder. And if you felt like a little bit more here, you could extend the right leg a little bit longer. Could be more bent, could be more straight. Right shoulder touches down to the ground. Wherever your leg is, can you breathe in and come through center, maybe keeping the leg long. And then as you exhale, can you take it over to the right? Right hand might come underneath the calf or the thigh. Breathe in, come back through center. As you exhale, transfer it over to the left, your twist of choice. Let's go one more, breathing in, coming through center. Exhaling, taking it to the right. Inhale, come through center. Exhale to the left. Okay, we're going to swap it out. So you might start with the knees bent here and then take the left knee wide, hugging the hand on top of the shin, trying to draw it to the outside of the ribs. And maybe you stay here, maybe you find a variation of happy baby. Left hand could be on the ankle, could be up a little bit higher to the outside of the foot. And if you did feel like a little bit more, the right leg could extend down on the ground. Just if you're taking that option, maybe you think about pressing the right hamstring down to the ground so we're not lifting the leg off. Stay here or add some movement by lengthening the left leg and then drawing it back in, as small or as big as feels good here. Connecting the breath with the movement. So you might exhale as you extend out and then inhale as you come back in. Let's all bend to the left knee, come back through center, twist it over to the right. Extend your left arm out to the side, keep the left shoulder down on the ground. If you felt ready for a little bit more, you could extend the left foot out a little bit longer. Try flex the toes towards you. Use your next breath in, come back through center, keep the leg where it is in terms of how long it is. As you exhale, drop the left foot over to the side or the left knee. Breathe in, come back through center. As we exhale, twist it to the right. One more, breathe in, come back through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale through to the right. Come through center. Knees bent here. Bring the hands to the chest. Breathe into hold. And then as we exhale, lift the chest off, draw the knees in and try to touch the elbows towards the thighs. So you're crunching off the ground. Inhale, touch the toes down, rest the head down. As you exhale, lift up. Inhale, touch down. Exhale, lift up. If you wanted more, extend the feet out to 45. Breathe in, lower back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale out. Exhale, lift. Let's go 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, ribs to hips. Inhale. Exhale, try to lift the shoulders off the ground. 1 more, breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, we're going to add on. Breathe in to extend. As we exhale, twist the chest to the right. See if you can get the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Breathe in to extend. As we exhale, twist to the left, try to get the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist to the right, lift yourself up. Inhale, extend. Exhale to the left. Breathe in, extend. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale, let's go 4 more. Can you lift yourself up a little bit higher as you crunch up? You can always touch the toes down in between. Woohoo! Lots of engagement through the core. Let's go 2 more. Last one. Nice job. Grab the backs of the legs with your hands, breathe in. And then as you exhale, roll yourself up, come into a tabletop position. So bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Just take a little rock and roll from side to side here. Moving your chest around in one direction, spreading the fingertips wide, so we're getting lots of engagement through the hand. And then swapping directions of the circle. And then coming back through center, tuck onto the toes and then lift your knees just to a hover. Feel the core engage. Can you push your hands into the ground to puff up through your upper back? Getting really strong through our torso. Let's go 2 more breaths. Still finding the constriction of the throat for our Ujjayi pranayama. And then when you're ready, lift yourself up, downward facing dog. So pushing through the hands. Once you get back here, you might pedal out the feet, dropping one heel down, dropping the other heel down. Kind of moving the chest from side to side, moving the hips from side to side. And then find a moment of stillness as you push through the hands, drawing the chest back, lengthening the arms. Use your next breath in as you roll forward into your plank position. As you exhale, knees or toes, chaturanga, tuck the elbows in, come down onto your belly. Untuck the toes at the bottom, breathe in, cobra. Roll the shoulders back, engage the glutes. As you exhale and push up onto your knees, tuck toes, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Know that you can also come into child's pose at any point here as well, instead of down dog. One more time, breathe in, roll forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Option to come halfway this time. Cobra on the ground or upward facing dog on your breath in, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out through the nose. Okay, we're going to begin a new sequence here. A little bit more time with the hands before we come off them. So to roll yourself forward back into your 3-legged table. Into your tabletop. You can either have the knees down or you can float the knees up. You might know where we're going. Extend your right foot out, 3-legged table. So right foot is in line with the hips. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale to extend it back out. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale out. Long spine. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale out. Exhale, left elbow. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in, reach it out. Exhale, right elbow, this time 3-legged dog. Press yourself up. Breathe in, right toes high. As you exhale, hold here. Open your right hip up, but keep your right leg as long as possible. Soft bend of the left leg. Look towards your left big toe. Take a deep breath in through the nose. As we exhale, roll forward. Right knee to right elbow. Step the right foot outside the right hand. Left knee comes down to the ground. Nice job. Maybe pop up onto fingertips. We're just going to shift forward and back here a little bit. So coming through our kneeling lunge and our Ardha Hanumanasana, our half splits. And if you wanted to do this without the hands, feel free to. You can just pick them up. Maybe at the same time, you can roll out your wrists a little bit more. Let's go one more. Come back through center, plant the left hand down, turn your left toes to the left, open the chest, but grab the hand onto the right shin. Lift yourself up and lift the right knee up as well. So you're coming into this like modified side plank variation. Lift your hips up as much as you can, left shoulder on top of the wrist. Let's go one more breath. Extend the right foot out. Now feel free to stay here or press through the right foot, slide the left leg out. Kind of fallen star. Breathe in as you lift the arm up, the right arm. As you exhale, reach it forward and then down to the ground. So you're in this kind of funky plank position here. Soft bend with the left leg. We're going to lower our hips down to the ground. Okay, so the right knee comes down as well. Feel free to hang out here, especially if your hands are, feeling quite sensitive. You could always come down to the elbows and hold. If you felt like more, keep the right toes tucked. Breathe in as you lift your hips up. As you exhale, tap your hips down to the ground. Look forward a little bit. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, tap down. So go 3 more. Breathe in. Exhale, tap. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders away from the ears. Last time, breathe in, lift up. This time, we slide our left foot back to our plank. Option to keep it off the ground, 3-legged plank. Breathe in, shift your weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend of choice. Maybe you wanted to hang out in child's pose for a moment to take some weight off in your hands, or you can come back into downward facing dog. I don't know about you guys, but I'm already feeling it. Let's go one more breath here. Start to roll yourself forward into your tabletop position. Knees come underneath the hips. You can stay here or tuck the toes. Lift the knees off the ground. Engage the core, push the hands down, protract your shoulder blades. Breathe in as you lengthen your left leg back, 3-legged table. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, back. Exhale, right elbow. One more, breathe in. Exhale, left elbow. 3-legged dog, breathe in, lift up. Whoo. Exhale, hold. Start to open the hip a little bit. So left hip roughly stacked on top of the right. Left leg as long as you can make it. Take another deep breath in here. Start to roll forward, left knee to the left elbow. As you exhale, set the left foot outside the left hand. Lower the right knee down to the ground. Little shift forward and back. Moving through our Ardha Hanumanasana and our kneeling lunge. Remember, if your wrists are feeling warm, you can always lift the hands off the ground, maybe reaching them behind you. And you could clasp your hands into fists and roll out the wrists. It's important that we do strengthen our wrists for any arm balances that we might take today. But of course, just making sure you feel ready and you're not forcing yourself into a position where you feel really tense. Come back through center, right hand plants down. Turn the right toes to the side, the right side. Shift your weight back, lift up the left knee, left hand comes on top of the shin. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades down your spine? Kind of feeling an opening maybe through the groin, the adductors, the left hip. When you're ready, left foot extends out. Maybe you stay here or push through the left foot, extend the right leg out long into our fallen star. Breathe in, reach your left hand forward. As you exhale, left hand comes down to the ground. Come onto your left toes in this modified high plank position. We're going to slowly come down to the ground until our hips touch. Remember, if you'd like to come onto elbows to rest your wrists, you absolutely can. Feel free to stay down or tuck left toes. Lift yourself up on your breath in, high plank. Exhale, touch yourself down. Inhale, lift up. exhale, tap. Let's go 3 more. So what we're doing here is that we're strengthening, of course, the upper body, the core, but we're also twisting through the spine, which is going to be really useful when we practice our twisted crow later on. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in, hold. Slide your right foot back. Either high plank with the right foot down or right foot lifted. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to open your back bend of choice. Exhale, maybe child's pose, maybe downward facing dog. Not going to stay here too long because we're going to make our way into Malasana at the top of the mat. So bend your knees, look forward, breathe in. Maybe you walk forward or maybe you hop forward. Landing feet outside the hands, lower your hips down. Now, we're just using this as a moment of pause. You can bring a block underneath your hips if you would like, or a pillow. You could completely sit down on the ground. Just clasp your hands into fists again and roll out the wrists. And then rolling them out in the other direction. You squeeze your glutes a little bit, draw the shoulder blades back. Now you might stay here, or we can practice our Kakasana, our crow pose. So what you'll do is you'll lift your hips up, bring hands underneath the shoulders, come high onto your toes, spread the fingertips wide, bend the elbows back, and you'll create a little shelf for the knees to come onto the elbows. Look underneath your head, try not to tuck your chin in. Maybe you stay with the toes down on the ground. You could try lift one foot off towards your glutes. Maybe the other foot lifts off as well, protracting the shoulder blades. And from here, we're going to make our way back into downward facing dog. You choose your journey. If you'd like a little hop back, try bend your elbows by the time your feet land at the back of the mat. Okay. We are going to take some weight off the hands very soon. We're going to skip out the tabletop first part of the sequence, which I'm sure all of us are happy about. But we're going to add some things on along the way. Breathe in, sweep the right toes high, 3-legged dog. As we exhale, open the right hip. Keep reaching your right toes as high as you can. Take another deep breath in. Start to roll forward, right knee towards the right elbow. As you exhale, step the right foot outside the right hand. Lower the left knee down. Breathe in as you lift the chest up. As you exhale, shift the hips back. Now you can continue to do this. If you felt like a little bit more, you'll come forward, coming into your prayer twist. So left elbow will come to the outside of the right thigh, hands will come together, and you'll push through the hands to draw your chest towards the thumbs. And you'll do the same motion just with the hands like this. Bit more challenging for our balance. Still getting the twist happening. Let's go about 1 or 2 more. Make sure that our right knee doesn't lock out when we shift back. Just a heads up, we are going to turn to the back of the mat, so you're going to need to listen really carefully. Release the arms, tuck onto left toes, breathe in Skandasana to the back. Left knee bends, turn the left toes towards the back corner of the mat. Sink your hips towards the left heel. Lift the chest really high. We turn to the back, breathe in, pivot yourself around, walk your left foot to the left side of the mat, exhale, hold. So you're in a lunge position here. Option to stay on the hands or make your way down to the elbows or as close as you can, elbows to ground, lizard lunge. Right knee can also be down on the ground. If you wanted a little bit more activeness, you can try flying lizard. What you'll try and do is get the left shoulder underneath the left knee crease. Walk the fingertips out to the side and maybe you stay with the hands down, or you could try lift the hands off the ground. Okay, so you're really activating through the core, the back leg, the front leg to lift you up. Wherever you are, come back down, lower the right knee down. We've done this transition before. Turn your right toes to the right, shift your chest open to the left hand comes on top of the shin, lift yourself up. If you did feel like more, you could try lengthen your left leg here. Maybe even peace fingers come around left big toe as you lift it up. It's a pretty challenging position, but give it a go if you'd like. Bring your left foot to the front of the mat, the now back of the mat. Stay here or breathe in, lift yourself up, right foot extends out. Exhale, hold. Breathe in, reach your left hand over your head. As you exhale, turn to the back of the mat, hands come down. Let's all lower our hips down to the ground. This time we're all gonna bring our elbows down, okay? Feel free to hang out here, otherwise we try those hip lifts again. Breathe in, lift the hips up. Exhale to tap down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Let's go about 5 more. Try to shift your weight forward. Try not to lift the hips too high as you come up. Okay, we're going to change this one up. Once you've done 5-ish, lower your hips down to the ground. Thread your right hand through to the right foot and then roll yourself onto your back, kind of like where we started. Maybe your right leg lifts up. You can hold the right hand underneath the cuff. If you felt like more, peace fingers come around your right big toe. Try to point the toe, bring the left side of your body down to the ground, so the left hip, the left shoulder. Just like the beginning of our class, breathe in as you lift your right foot up. As you exhale, transition it over to the left. Big twist through the spine, bring the right shoulder down. Inhale, come back through center. Grab the back of the legs, option to move through a crow pose in our vinyasa, or you just head back into downward facing dog, however you'd like. So breathing in, and then as you exhale, you rock forward, plant the hands down, bring the elbows to the back of the arms, lift your feet up. And then if you wanted to try a little jump back, absolutely, go for it. So breathe in to hold. And then as you exhale, drive your toes back. Bend your elbows, breathe in to open. Exhale, send it back. Okay, just check in. How did that level of intensity feel for you? Was it too much? Was it too little? Do you want to add on? Do you want to take away? Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog. Keep the leg long, but open your hip on your exhalation. Keep pressing through the hands. Take another deep breath in. Maybe lift the left toes a little higher. Exhale, start to roll forward, left knee towards the left elbow. Set the left foot outside the left hand. Right knee comes down. Come up onto fingertips for the first round, and we'll just shift forward and back a little bit. Remember, if you felt like a different variation, come forward into your lunge, lift yourself up, hook your right elbow over the outside of the left thigh, find your prayer twist, and you'll try to do the same thing, the little shift forward and back. If you wanted more support, you could tuck onto the right toes. That's just going to help support the back leg. If you want to make it more challenging for your balance, untuck your right toes. Let's go about 1 more breath here. Can you turn your chest more to the left? Okay. Unwind. Tuck right toes, lift the right knee, turn to Skandasana at the back of the mat. Right toes turn away. Draw the hips in the direction of the right heel. Lift your chest up. Left toes lift as well. We pivot to the back of the mat. Breathe in. Walk your right foot out. As you exhale, hold in this lunge position. Left knee could be down or lifted. Maybe the elbows walk down into a lizard lunge. If you felt like a little bit more, you could find flying lizard. What you're going to do is scoop your right shoulder in the right knee crease. Walk your hands out to the side. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift the hands off the ground as well. Push through your right foot. Get active through the legs, through the core. And then unwind wherever you are. Bring the left knee down. Turn the left toes to the left side.
You're gonna open yourself up, right knee lifts, right hand around the shin. Now feel free to stay here. If you felt like a little bit more, you could lengthen the leg. Maybe the right peace fingers come around the right big toe and you try lift it up. Know that this is super challenging. Right foot to the back of the mat. Maybe you stay here or breathe in, lift your hips up a little higher. Left foot extends out to the side. Use your next breath in, reach your right hand forward. As you exhale, right hand comes down to the ground. We're in this modified plank position at the back of the mat. Let's all lower the hips down and the elbows down to the ground. Maybe you hold out here, become passive, or we go for those hip lifts again. So lift your hips up and then tap. We're going for about 10 in our own breath. So 1 breath per movement. Trying to keep the shoulders on top of the elbows as much as we can, so we don't push all the way back. Okay, that's going to make it more challenging for our upper body. Let's go about 2 more. Lower your hips down to the ground. Thread your left hand through towards your left foot and then roll onto your back. Lift your left leg, your left knee might be bent. You could have the left leg long. Maybe your peace fingers come around your left big toe as you reach it out to the side. Try to draw the right hip, the right shoulder down to the ground. Find the counterbalance. Use your next breath in, come back through center. We're going to change it over to the right. Find your twist. Left knee might be bent, left leg might be long. Inhale, come back through center. As you exhale, bend your knees. Remember, option to go through a crow pose along the way if you would like. Otherwise, skip it out. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And just know that falling over is the whole part of the journey. You just got to accept it. It is what it is. Have fun. Fall on your face a little bit. Get back up. It's the only way to learn, right? No one's ever going to perfect a pose they try for the first time right then and there. Okay. One more sequence incorporating things that we know will have opportunities to balance along the way. Balance. Breathe in, sweep the right toes high. Exhale, open the hip. Push through your hands, breathe in. Start to roll forward. As you exhale, step the right foot outside the right hand. Lower your left knee down. We'll all come to our prayer twist. So left elbow hooks the outside of the right thigh. And then press through the hands, draw the shoulder blades back. I'm going to change it up a little bit here. Breathe in, start to shift your hips back. Exhale, hold. Breathe in, shift forward. Maybe you stay here, or as you exhale, tuck left toes, push your weight forward into a variation of Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana, so our twisted half moon. Stay here or tap the left knee towards the calf muscle. And then send it back out into your twisted half moon. Breathe in, tap the left toes back, left knee down. As you exhale, shift your hips back. Twisted half splits. Breathe in, shift forward, tuck left toes. Exhale, maybe lift the left foot off. Breathe in, tap the left knee towards the left calf, towards the right calf. Exhale, twisted half moon. Inhale, left toes down, left knee down. Exhale, shift it back. Okay, almost there. Breathe in, shift forward, tuck left toes. Exhale, lift the left foot off. Breathe in, left knee to right calf this time. As you exhale, left foot steps to the right foot. Hold here, twisted Utkatasana. Feel free to stay here. Feel free to come down, shake it out in a toe stand. If you wanted to try your twisted crow, you'll turn to the right, keep your feet facing forward. Place your hands shoulder width distance. Come high onto your toes. Bend the elbows back. The first time you do this, you'll try and bring both your hip onto your right elbow and the bottom of your thigh to your left elbow. It's a little bit easier to balance that way. Once you get the placing, you might try take the feet off. Okay, another option if you're feeling super balancy today, you'll do that way. So having both sides of the leg supported, but you'll try extend your right toes out to the front of the mat and your left toes back. So this is a variation of our twisted crow or our Eka Pada Koundinyasana variation number 1. Whew. So we'll come back through center. Come into your toe stand. Lift up the chest. We'll take a slow rise to standing. Deep breath in, lift yourself up. Exhale, plant the heels down. Lift the arms above the head. We're going to take a little resting pit stop for the moment. Exhale, hands come behind the back, interlace the fingertips, draw the knuckles down to the ground. Bring the knuckles over to the right hip, breathe in. As you exhale, can you bring the right ear towards the right shoulder? Inhale, come back through center. As we exhale, bring the hands to the left shoulder, draw the left ear down. Breathe in, come back through center, knuckles down, chest lifts. As you exhale, fold forward, bringing your knuckles to the front of the room. Hands come to the shins, breathe in as you push away, Adho Uttanasana, halfway lift. As we exhale, walk back into downward facing dog. Last part of our sequence here, a couple of different options. Option to play with our Eka Pada Koundinyasana too. Breathe in, sweep the right toes high again. As you exhale, right knee to right elbow, maybe you come into a lunge position and hang out there. Any variation of lizard lunge works. Or try get your thigh on top of your right tricep, bend the elbows into a chaturanga position. Get it high onto the tricep as you can. Shift your weight forward, right toes might reach out, and then you might lift the left foot off the ground. Okay? So you might be hanging out in your lunge position, any variation of it. Oh, we're all at different places and that's awesome. Wherever you are, let's sit back into a child's pose. Right knee meets the left, hips back. Just for a moment, kind of letting our wrists settle down. Are you maintaining the control of the breath? If not, maybe you stay here for a little bit longer and just join in when you're ready. If you're ready to move again, last time with the sequence, you'll shift your weight forward, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. As we exhale, open the left hip. Push through the hands. Take another deep breath in. Maybe lift the left toes a little higher. Exhale, roll forward, left knee towards the left elbow. Step the left foot outside the left hand. Right knee comes down. Find our prayer twist. Right elbow hooks over the left thigh. Press the palms towards each other. Shift yourself back. Breathe in. Lift up the left toes. Exhale, hold. Breathe in, shift forward, lift the right knee off. Maybe you stay here as you exhale, twisted half moon. Right toes pick up. Keep the twist. Breathe in, draw the right knee towards the left calf. Exhale, extend the right foot back out. Breathe in, right toes tap, right knee comes down. As we exhale, shift yourself back into your half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey pose. Breathe in, shift forward. Lift the right knee. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana. Breathe in, right knee to the left calf. Exhale, reach it back out. Breathe in, right toes tap, right knee comes down. Exhale, send it back. This is super challenging. Last time, breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, half moon. Inhale, right knee to the left calf. Exhale, step the right foot next to the left. Twisted Utkatasana. Remember, we've got options. If you wanted to rest, come down into toe stand or sit down Malasana. If you wanted to try your twisted crow, walk your hands to the left side, hands shoulder width distance. Spread the fingertips wide. Try keep your knees facing forward. Bend your knees slightly. And then draw the left hip to the left elbow. And the back of the right thigh, the back of the left thigh to the right elbow. You can come in and out as many times as you need. Shake out the wrist as much as you need. If you wanted to try that variation of Eka Pada Koundinyasana 1, you'll bring your hands down, coming into that twisted crow variation again. This time you'll send your right toes back, your left toes to the front of the mat. Starting to come back out. Come into toe stand. It's all conditioning. You know, the more we do things, the better we get at them, but just we take steps to get there. Come up to standing. Heels stay off the ground for a moment. Breathe in, lift the arms up. Exhale, land the heels down. Hands come behind the back. Breathe in, open the chest. Exhale, hold. Breathe in, hands to the left hip. Exhale, left ear towards the left shoulder. Breathe in, come back through center, swap it out. Exhale, right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center, draw the knuckles down, lift the chest. Exhale, lean forward, reach the knuckles over. Almost there. Hands down, downward facing dog. Remember, you can come into any variation of a lunge that works for you as well. If you wanted to play with Eka Pada Koundinyasana 2, you can come with me. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. As we exhale, roll forward, left knee to left elbow / tricep. Maybe you come into a lunge or shift your weight forward. Try bring your thigh onto the tricep. Keep shifting until your left toes reach out. Your right toes lift up. Engage through the right glute, right hamstring. It's a little bit easier if your right knee is bent here, if you're kind of struggling to get the foot off the ground. If you wanted a super challenging transition, you're going to try hop your left foot back into a chaturanga and then maybe flow through. Wow, okay, child's pose. Holy moly. As much as I would love to do Ashtavakasana, which is another arm balance, I think my wrists are feeling tired. So maybe we'll leave that for another day. Just start to walk your hands back. We will cool down pretty quickly. Come down onto your hips. Oh, feels good. Slow down. Feet come together. Hands come around the ankles. Baddha Konasana, breathe in, lift up. As we exhale, lean forward. And let the breath slow down here. Maybe even close the eyes down. Trying to not get too distracted by your toes. It's so easy to. I always find myself looking how I need to trim.
Roll yourself back up. What we're going to do is practice our Surya Yantrasana, our sundial pose. We've kind of been working towards it, or opening the same muscle groups as it. So what you'll do is that you'll slide your left foot in. First option is just to lift up tall. Maybe you kind of cradle your shin, rock it around from side to side. If you felt like more, you'll try get the right knee as much as you can over your right shoulder. From this position, lift your right hip up. This is the easiest way to get into this pose. Left hand comes around the right foot. Extend the right fingertips out to the side. You might stay here, or you might try kick the right foot away, lift up through the chest, and draw the left shoulder, draw the eye gaze underneath the left shoulder. Try to relax the jaw. Shoulders down the back. And wherever you are, we'll just slowly make our way out. Keep the left knee bent. Try to take your right foot up and over the left thigh. Now you might stay here. If you notice your right hip coming off the ground quite a bit, I would encourage you to take your left foot forward. Breathe in, lift up tall. As we exhale, let's twist to the right. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Let's go one more breath. And just starting to come back through center. We'll swap it out to the other side. I'll just show you guys on this leg in case you didn't see on the other side. So you'll tuck your right foot in, lift your left foot up, and then a little bit of cradling going on. And then you might stay here and just try to lift the spine really tall. Otherwise, you'll lift the left hip off, trying to get the left knee on top of the left shoulder. Right hand comes around the outside of the left foot. Left fingertips reach to the side. And then you will kick the left heel away, reaching the right arm to the left. And you're trying to get kind of the head underneath the right bicep. Super challenging, I know. A lot of twisting, opening through the adductors, but all things that we've done today. And then coming back out, let's find our twist again. So left foot comes over the right thigh. Maybe it stays tucked in, maybe it extends out. Breathe in, lift up really tall. As we exhale, let's twist to the left. Starting to come back through center. Shuffle yourself forward. If you had any props or anything that you would like to bring in for Savasana, maybe a blanket or a jumper or some socks, just bring that nearby. Roll down onto your back. Bring the feet behind your hips, and this time we will enter a bridge pose. So push through the feet, start to engage the glutes as you lift yourself up.
Track the knees out over the toes. If you did have a pillow or a block that you'd like to bring underneath your hips here, feel free to. You could also, kind of another variation is kind of walking your elbows underneath your hips, bringing the palms underneath your pelvis. Just a way to get a little bit more height. It's still quite active. Tucking the chin in slightly. And then when you're ready, just starting to roll yourself down. If there are any final asanas that you'd like to take before we enter Savasana, please feel free to. I will offer the variation of wheel pose, which is basically our bridge, but a little bit more. We've warmed up quite a lot through our wrists, although if your wrists are very much done, maybe skip it out. We haven't done too much back bending today, so this might feel nice just to move in that way. If you wanted to try with me, fingertips turn towards the shoulders. You'll start by lifting your hips up, coming into your bridge position first, and then push yourself up enough that the back of the head, the crown of the head comes down to the ground and you're looking behind you. Now you might stay here. If you felt like more, push through your arms and your legs to lift yourself up. As much as you can, try shift your shoulders forward over your wrists. It's going to make it easier for your wrists. Okay, so there's less flexion. Engage the glutes, squeeze the shoulder blades back, lift up through the belly button. Remember to breathe. If you can't breathe, you've gone too far. One more breath. And then slowly coming down. If you're in wheel, tuck the chin in. Lie down on the back. Maybe the feet are wide and the knees drop inwards. And you might stay here, or you might just very gently draw the knees up towards the chest. Or release for the lower back. Okay. If you feel ready for Savasana and you're not already there yet, you might extend your legs out long or be in any other position that feels good for you. Allowing for the eyes to close down. Taking some slow, deep breaths where we aim for the exhalation to be a little bit longer than the inhalation. And we've worked a lot today. What does it feel like to not work in this position? To disengage the body, to get really heavy.
We'll be here for another few minutes in quiet together. I'll let you know when it's time to transition out. If you would like to stay in Savasana a little bit longer, you might stay here for the next minute or two. If you felt ready to transition out, just start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingertips, feeling what it is like to move in your body again after being still. Extending arms over the head, extending feet out long, and then you might curl yourself up into a little bit of a small ball, drawing the knees towards the chest. We'll come up to seated. Maybe grab the backs of the legs as you roll up, or you can turn through one side. Just closing down the eyes. And Vinyasa yoga is part of the Raja Yoga lineage, which means king yoga, Raja meaning king or royal, and kind of the goal of that is self-mastery. When it comes to asana, self-mastery doesn't necessarily mean being able to do all these challenging postures. Sometimes self-mastery is learning boundaries and listening to energy and knowing when to back off. Also knowing when to add on if you're feeling really energized. So maybe that's how we can shift our perspective on what mastering ourselves, mastering our body is. Take a deep breath in, lift up really tall. Deep breath out, let it go. Thank you so much. This was longer than I expected it was going to be, but I hope that you enjoyed it. I definitely feel stronger. I think I'm going to need to rest my wrists for the next day or two, but let me know in the comments down below if you wanted anything else, if you had any other requests, if you wanted to see some longer classes just like this one. Feel free to head over to Patreon. Not only do we have more in this kind of style, but we also have ones that are a little bit slower as well. Yeah, I look forward to moving and breathing with you again sometime soon. Thanks so much.